AI is here, clients have low budgets, and the photography market is saturated. Is product photography dead? Can you even become a product photographer in 2023? In this video, I'm walking you through the facts and breaking through the myths floating around about product photography. Spoiler, you can make a lot of money as a product photographer, but not in the way you think. Watch till the end and I'll break it down. My name is Chris Pieta and I run a production company and teach creative business. If you're a product photographer or you've thought about pursuing product photography, I'll be answering all the questions you're asking. Can I still make a living from product photography in 2023? Should I be worried about AI taking over and stealing my job? Should I start my own product photography company or go work for someone else? I can tell you right now that there's a right way and a wrong way to approach product photography. And if we go down the wrong path, we're going to waste a lot of time and honestly, we won't survive in this field. But if you want to know the right way to approach product photography, keep watching. Do you want to know the right way to deal with AI? Do you wonder what the right way to start your product photography business is? Ever since I started product photography, I've actually had all these worries. When I was starting my company back in 2019, I honestly kept hearing photographers say the same thing over and over again. This market is saturated. There's no more room for another photographer. It's already hard to get clients right now. And I kept hearing people say this over and over again. So what did I do? I ignored them. When people say a market is saturated, they really just mean I'm not good enough to keep up with the new photographers coming into the mix. They're hungrier than I am, so they're going to work harder to get those clients. When veterans in the industry say the market is saturated, oftentimes this comes out of fear. A fear of competition and fear that they won't have the skills to compete with the young blood. And yes, on one hand, you might go to Instagram and see all the brands have incredible photos already. You might think that they don't need to hire you. They already have a photographer that they work with consistently, and they're probably happy with the results. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is true. Those brands probably don't need you. But for every one brand you see that's fully polished on social media, there are dozens more that don't pop up in your feed because they don't have great work. You can go out there, find these brands, pitch them with the right process, and then land them as a client. You can help them transform their page and be able to compete with the big guys up top. People say product photography is saturated because they only see the brands that rise to the top. It's like an iceberg. At the very top, only a small portion of companies have the best photos. But beneath the surface, there are so many companies that need someone to step in and take beautiful photos for them. By the way, I teach you exactly how to find these brands in my program, Creative Biz Launch. Link to join is down below. So there are brands out there, but do these brands have big budgets? This is a trickier question to answer, but the short answer is yes. There are loads of brands out there with big budgets, but a lot of the time they don't want to pay you because they don't think you are the best choice for the job. And this isn't because your portfolio is bad, this is because you present them with a bad offer or you can't negotiate. Learning how to package your service in a way that shows them that you're the best fit is critical to your success. And when they try and negotiate with you, you need to use the right negotiating techniques to make sure that you can charge those high prices. This is what I've been able to teach all my Creative Biz Launch students, and they're crushing it in the industry and beating other product photographers at landing high-paying deals. Okay, so we've established that the product photography market is not actually saturated, and there's plenty of high-paying clients out there for you to land. What about AI? At this point, we've seen all the crazy things AI can do. Midjourney can generate images out of thin air. Photoshop Generative Fill can take a boring photo and completely change it into something incredible. What does all this technology mean for photographers? A lot of photographers are saying that product photographers don't need to worry. AI won't get good enough to replace us, but I actually disagree. I think product photographers need to worry, but only if they're working for someone else rather than running their own business. Listen very closely to what I'm about to say next. Product photographers need to run their own company rather than work for someone else, otherwise they will be replaced. This statement is really important. I strongly believe that if you're a product photographer working for someone else's company, you will be expendable. Already, we've seen the impacts of ChatGPT on so many industries. Companies are laying off most of their customer service teams because ChatGPT can replace them. And the same thing is going to happen to a lot of companies that employ product photographers. And I'm not saying those companies are right or wrong in their decision, but when they look at their bottom line and see that they can replace you with a piece of software, even if that software isn't as good, they will make that trade if it makes financial sense. It's a dangerous time to be employed as a photographer. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping other photographers start and scale their own businesses. That's exactly what my education company does. Let me explain why you have to have your own company as a product photographer. First off, job security. While it may seem that working for an employer may lead to a steady paycheck, it's going to be riskier in the long run. Your employer can let you go whenever they feel like. Since we just finished talking about AI, it becomes even riskier right now. Now let's address the myth of that steady paycheck. You can actually have a steady paycheck when you run your own business as well. With the right type of sales pipeline, you can create predictable revenue inside of your business. This means that you will know the exact number of clients you'll be working with every single week, month, and quarter. The sales pipeline that I built inside of my product photography business allows me to have back-to-back $50,000 quarter. That's a lot of money to make in 3 months as a photographer. And I have my sales pipeline to thank for that. And that's exactly what I teach all of my students as well. The goal of your photography business should be to help as many clients as possible. And to do that, you need to be great at sales. Now, I mentioned that I've been able to make $50,000 a quarter in product photography, and this is more than most employers will pay you in a full year. So on top of having more security running your own company, you make way more money. It's an extremely lucrative place to be if you're running your business the right way. That's really difficult to do. In order to run your business the right way, there are so many moving parts, but if you can nail them, then this type of income becomes possible. You obviously need to get the basics right, things like your LLC, taxes, accounting, all that stuff. That stuff is easy. Creating a compelling offer that you can sell for thousands of dollars is hard. Creating a client acquisition system to get repeat client month after month is hard. Getting repeat clients and landing 5-figure retainers is hard. Training a team and building out automation softwares is hard. And you can spend years figuring out all this stuff yourself. But I actually teach everything you need to know inside of my program, Create a Biz Launch. You can join below and become a fully booked product photographer. Now, as you're running your business, there are going to be a lot of challenges that come up. But let's talk about one challenge in particular, AI. How will you handle AI as a business owner? And let me be clear. I'm calling you a business owner, not a product photographer. As a business owner, you're going to need to embrace AI to compete in the landscape. This might mean that your product shoots will now take half the time. You're able to use AI in the edits to really create incredible scenes that would have normally taken you hours. Now, maybe AI isn't that good yet, but it will be. And that's going to be your job as a business owner to embrace it. In a scenario where it takes you half as much time to do the work, maybe you'll be able to charge twice the amount of money. Or maybe everyone will be paying a lot less because of AI. But if you can still put out twice the amount of work for half the price, you'll be at the same place you are today. But if your employer were to start using this, you'd be out of a job. As the owner of your business, you make the decisions and the calls on how you want to handle the AI takeover. Do you want to introduce it to your photography? Do you want to use AI for your sales process? Maybe you can use AI for your marketing. However you decide to use it, you'll be in control. You'll be able to problem solve. And that's the beauty of being a business owner rather than an employee. So let's break those myths. Product photography is not a saturated market, and there is thousands of dollars to be made here. Becoming a business owner will be more freeing than being an employee. And with the right tools and trainings, you too can be a thriving product photographer. If you need help with any of this, enroll in my training below. Let's get excited for this future of product photography. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.